Welcome back to a brand new video here on Off Scratch. We've got a cracker today. We're talking about our hips, our pelvis position, and your ability to hit driver.
Yeah, this is really important, I think, because it's something that's quite underlooked. But this is all about how the angles of your pelvis can help you hit the golf ball further.
So follow this simple instruction. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel and let us know what you need help with in your golf swing. Just get down in the comments. So Nat, you've got a belt in your hand. I do.
Good old gadget like we like to use. So we're going to use the belt really just to highlight the position of your hips so we can see a little bit better obviously through the clothing. And what we're going to do is kind of highlight the position and the angle of the hips that's set up and how that then impacts the golf swing going forwards. Because it's not just going to affect the strike but obviously therefore the distance as well. And this, so I'll get you to put that on.
I say for people like, this is only a little bit of a tweak but it can make a huge difference. Put them the right way around. It can make a huge difference to how you hit the golf ball and your angle of attack into the golf ball, and just making your swing feel, I guess, a little bit more natural, not like you're fighting it. Yeah,
definitely. I think the setup as well, because you can't see yourself, you get used to the position you're in and you don't notice that it's not straight or it's not in the right place.
100%. Like, what I tend to see, just to briefly here, Nat, is when ball position's forward, people feel that need to sort of reach for it from the upper half, rather than being more this way. So, Nat, let's go with wrong first.
Okay.
So that would be sort of wrong, would be sort of position like this.
So if you look at the angle of the belt here, you can see that Alex's right hip is much higher on this side and the left hip is a lot lower on this side, which makes it quite awkward then as he starts to move into the backswing. If you make a backswing there, Alex, you kind of force now on the downswing to come back more over the top because of that initial pelvis position. It didn't give you room to make the swing
like that way on the way down.
Correct. And then if you make the reverse angle,
so that would be me just pumping it this way a little bit.
Yeah, leaning too far forwards and then leaning back through the upper body. You can now see what it does to the club face initially, but also Alex has to then manipulate his backswing and therefore his follow through becomes very scoopy, very behind, too much height on the face.
Exactly.
Ball goes up really high, we lose distance.
So what we'd say here is we want that, not quite the middle ground, but if we had a spectrum of too tilted this way to too tilted that way, we want to be a little bit towards this side. So what I say now is a great little feeling as for golfers just to get into a good setup and watch the belt as I do this, watch this closely, is I feel just a little bit of a push this way. Just a little bit of a push. And all that does is set my spine a little bit this way, and that helps me hit a little bit on the up. As Nat said, like if you do it too much, it becomes too scoopy. So there are extremes. Maybe you've got to go to that extreme to find that area where it's just slightly favouring being a little bit this way. And that's going to really help you hit up. Right, Nat, shall I hit this one away?
Definitely. So let me get out your way.
You don't trust me?
Oof, don't know, not that much.
So I'd walk in, I'd just feel a little bit of a tilt. Now look, my left is a little bit higher than my right, only favouring it a little bit. And then we're in, we're back, allowing us to hit up on that golf ball. Okay, now we've got one more area. Now this is very, very crucial about, just general actual well-being on the golf course. Let's have a look at this.
Okay, Alex, so let's talk about the opposite pelvic positions or tilt forwards and backwards. And again, really important this in terms of driving distance, strike, but also the general health of your body, because the angle of your pelvis can contribute to lower back pain, which we've seen a lot in players.
I know, just on a point, if I'm teaching all day, I get like this, sticking my bum out, and I know my lower back absolutely kills. Even just carrying my golf bag, I fall into that bad habit. So, like Nat just said there, it's not just going to help you golf swing this, it's going to help you feel better throughout your round.
Definitely.
So, talk me through the extremes, right? Okay. So, I'll stand to the golf ball.
Set up for me. So, the extremes, this is what we call anterior pelvic tilt, would be imagining the tailbone up to the ceiling and the belt buckle pointing down to the floor. So you can see Alex gets a bit of a curve and a dip through his spine.
So that would be normal. So watch this now.
That's it. So you can see the belt as raised at the back and fallen at the front. And that's what we call anterior pelvic tilt. And the opposite would be posterior pelvic tilt, which would be an extreme the other way, where the belt buckle gets closer to the chin and the tailbone effectively tucks under your bum is what it feels like. And that almost feels really restricted in the ribs, like you can't breathe.
Yeah, very much so.
Because your rib cage came in as you were sucked like that.
Yeah.
And we do see these setups through players where typically older players tend to set up a bit more like this because they're a bit more rounded and they want to be a bit taller to the ball. Yeah. And then we get people trying to be athletic who go to the extreme and really get too much tilt here, which you probably see in lessons.
Definitely. I see both of them.
And the key thing with the pelvis is it should be able to move forwards and backwards, and it has to make those movements in the golf swing. But we ideally want to set up neutrally to allow those movements to happen.
So what's a good way of thinking about setting up neutrally? I mean, obviously having a belt on like this would be a good little thing to do in the mirror, first and foremost. But like, say on the golf course, say everybody's going playing, let's say this evening, how can they do this?
So I think the best way to learn this is to go to the extreme of one way, to go to the extreme the other way, and find the middle ground. So where you feel like you're neither.
So say hitting balls in the nets before you go out, walk into a shot,
set up,
stick it up to the sky, or belt buckle down,
all the way under, and then find the middle ground where you're not in either position.
I'll tell you what I feel there, Nat. When I feel that middle ground, I feel my core switched on quite a lot.
And that's
I feel my glutes are switched on.
Definitely what you can feel. So when you go to the anterior tilt, Alex, so the butt up to the ceiling, you can see here, it's like the belly fell forwards because the core isn't engaged now. It's sort of relaxed and the rib cage popped out. And when you get right in neutral, it's like this just tucks under and you feel this lining contract slightly and it feels solid. So I always say, like, if I was to punch you, you wouldn't want to be like this because you're not going to be able to brace and take that very well.
It's not that kind of channel, don't we?
There'll be no fights. If you're neutral and you're ready at setup, it's almost like, if I hit you, you could take it a lot better than if you were in either position. And that's the thing where you feel some contraction and some engagement from the muscles there.
So nice and simple. We wanted to get the feeling of being a little bit tilted that way with driver, help you hit up. Obviously, you could even do the same as what Nat said, find the extremes either way and then find that sort of favour a little bit this way. And then with it down the line angle here, we don't want to be tailbone too up, don't want it too tucked under. We want that exact point in the middle. So we hope this is really going to help you. Don't forget to check out Off Scratch. All the details are down below. We've got plans that are here to help you improve your golf game for the start of the season, during the season. And if you're a big slicer of the golf ball, we know it's a popular plan, but we've got on and off course things that you can do to really make an effective change to your golf game.